Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicleknight channel. This video is sponsored by PTCGLstore.com, a great place for you to buy Pokemon TCG code cards. Please remember to use my code KNIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your supporting PTCGLstore.com. In today's video, I'll be showcasing Skeledirge from the PALDEA Evolved expansion set, and this time, Orbeetle returns. But first, let's take a look at Skeledirge. This Pokemon has an awesome 340 HP, currently the highest in the game out of all the EX Pokemon. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Vitality Song. For 1 fire energy, this attack deals 50 damage, and you heal all of your Pokemon by 30 damage. And its second attack is Burning Voice. For 2 fire energies, it deals 270 base damage. However, this attack is reduced by 10 less damage for each damage counter on the Skeledirge. While it doesn't quite one-hit knock out most V-Star Pokemon or EX Pokemon, the high damage output is very significant. One downside to this attack, however, is that you will have to maintain Skeledirge full HP. This is why healing is very important to this build. Despite all of Skeledirge's awesome stats though, it is still a stage 2, which might make it a challenge to set up. However, this time we will be using Orbeetle with the Evomancy attack. Depending on how many energies are attached on Orbeetle, you can search your deck for that many stage 2 Pokemon and put it straight to your bench. Orbeetle though is a high risk, high reward setup because it itself is a stage 2 Pokemon. And by focusing on Orbeetle as the main engine, the probability of winning a game greatly depends on how well you can have Orbeetle to set up all of your stage 2 Pokemon on your bench, which means majority of the times, we'll need to set up Blipbug first to evolve into Orbeetle. Thankfully though, we also have this Luxray with the Explosiveness ability. When you're just setting up to play at the beginning of a game, if this card is in your hand, you can actually start with this as your active Pokemon just as you would normally with a basic Pokemon. And its attack is very useful. For just 1 colorless energy, Seeking Fang not only deals 50 damage, but you can also search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards and put them into your hand. With this attack, you can find the cards you need to help evolve into your Orbeetle. And if you happen to get behind on prizes at the beginning of the game, you may even be able to use the reversal energy on Orbeetle so that you can have access to 3 energies right away. So now once we've set up our Orbeetle, we can now get our other stage 2 Pokemon into play. The best combination that I found for Skeledirge are with these Pokemon. First, I have this Charizard with the Burn Brightly ability, which makes each basic fire energies counts as 2 fire energies instead of 1. This will allow you to use Skeledirge's Burning Voice attack for just a single energy. Second is Florges with the Blooming Garden ability, which removes the weakness of all of your Pokemon. And this is very important since water-type builds are quite strong at the moment. Third is Gallade with its Buddy Catch ability, allowing you to search your deck for 1 supporter card and put it into your hand. This is really important in case you need access to your supporters, but especially Cheryl, so that you can fully heal Skeledirge. Fourth is Archeops with the Primal Turbo ability, which allows you to search your deck for up to 2 special energies and attach them to 1 of your Pokemon. And finally, I also added 1 copy of this Machamp. While you can only power this up with the reversal energy, it can be a powerful ally when you need that clutch comeback late game. It has the Crisis Muscle ability, increasing its HP up to 300 HP when your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining. And it has the attack Strong Arm Lariat, which deals 100 plus damage. However, you can choose to deal 200 damage, but you would not be able to attack with this on your next turn. With all of these Pokemon working together, Skeledirge is almost unbeatable. And while Orbeetle is our main setup engine, I did add 1 line of Rabsca, more for its attack Revival Blessing. For 1 colorless energy, you can simply put 1 of your Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. This is a great emergency recovery for your stage 2 Pokemon. One awesome and important key feature to this build, however, is with the help of Panic Mask. This tool card makes your Pokemon with this attached immune to any attack damage coming from any Pokemon with 40 HP or less remaining. And since Skeledirge deals 270 damage, this perfect number can actually make any of your opponent's Pokemon with 310 HP or less be rendered useless throughout the game, making Skeledirge potentially invincible. While it can be quite a challenge to use Orbeetle, if you are successful in your stage 2 setup though, your Skeledirge along with its Pokemon support, this combo is almost unbeatable. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below, and now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Skeledirge. Alright, very good. So we win the coin flip and we are going first. And like I said, you always want to go first with this build. And oh, yeah, I guess you can choose to mulligan if you want to, but with this Luxray and its explosiveness ability, you can actually start with this as your starting Pokemon even though it is a stage 2, which makes it really powerful. It's high HP, it has an awesome attack which deals 50 damage, and it also allows you to search for any 2 trainer cards from your deck. So this build does take a lot of mulligans though, that's the only thing, but thankfully we have Iono to just reshuffle your opponent's deck if you need to. And so for now, we're gonna just set up our Blip Bug using this Ultra Ball, and that Fire Energy in the discard actually sets up for Raihan, which is really nice. So I'm just going to energize my Blip Bug, and I'm gonna pass because we cannot attack with Luxray on our very first turn anyways. And looks like my opponent is using a Baxcalibur as their energy acceleration engine. So definitely a water type build. This could be a Chien Pao EX deck, as is very popular nowadays. I'm just going to use Iono right now because the reversal energy is useless unless my opponent is behind, or unless we are behind on prizes. We got another Blip Bug, which is really nice. You can probably set that up, but I'll just energize Luxray for the meantime, and then I'll just set up yeah, let's just set up 2 Blip Bugs here, and I'm just gonna use Seeking Fang, dealing 50 damage to this Frigibax, and we're gonna search for our cards that will help us evolve into our Orbeetle. So we need an Ultra Ball, probably, because Level Ball doesn't get us an Orbeetle. But Raihan could be good in case they knock out one of our Pokemon here. And I'm just gonna end my turn. So they could knock out our Luxray, maybe boss our Blip Bug. So if we lose that energy, we can use Raihan, get a reversal energy. That way we can set up our Orbeetle line with a lot of energies and put our stage 2 Pokemon on our bench. So let's see what happens here if my opponent can set it up here. Ah, they're gonna use Iono though, that's really bad. Okay, we got an Ultra Ball, we got Raihan again. So all we need is a rare candy, and that's one thing. Reversal Energy is such a great addition to this Orbeetle build because you can accelerate 3 energies technically if you're behind on prizes. However, what's bad about it is that if you're equal, if you have the same prize as your opponent, or you're ahead in prize, then the reversal energy becomes useless. So that is the downside to it. Alright, so my opponent passes here. I could just slowly... Oh, I discarded the Dottler at the beginning, didn't I? Let me just Iono then. Because I can't use Raihan or anything like that, so... Let's see what I could do. I could put Twin Energy or Double Turbo Energy to Blip Bug. And... yeah, I think I'll just use Seeking Fang, dealing 50 damage to their Chien Pao. And then get a Raihan. And a rare candy, I think, is a good option because we have Mesagoza. I could just use Mesagoza, hopefully get an Orbeetle, and then we can use rare candy and then set up at least 3 Pokemon on our bench, especially if my opponent does not knock out one of our other Pokemon to free up some space on our bench. So they will get a rare candy to evolve into a Baxcalibur. Now they can accelerate as many water energies from their hand to their Pokemon in any way they like, which is pretty strong. So this is really bad, I guess. Shivery Chill gets Chien Pao EX 2 water energies from their deck into their hand. Alright. Arceus V-Star. And that's actually a really powerful card to include in their deck. Because Arceus V-Star can attack for 3 colorless energy, but it also has a very powerful V-Star ability, Starbirth, which allows the player to get any 2 cards from their deck. So that's pretty insane. And yeah, our setup is pretty slow here. It's been a few turns already. We still haven't found an Orbeetle, and that's one of the biggest thing with this build. You know, that's what makes it a high risk, high reward. Like I said, you can have a pure stage 2 Pokemon, like a main stage 2 character, but Orbeetle allows you to get a lot of different stage 2s in your deck. That's the only upside to it, but setup is very, very difficult. And it is also it's RNG based as far as setup goes, because it plays a huge part on your starting hand and the cards that you get along the way to try and set up an Orbeetle before you can set up your other stage 2 Pokemon. But my opponent is gonna charge up their Radiant Greninja, and this is really bad because, again, I don't have any Manaphy in this deck because I can't really afford to start with a Manaphy at the beginning of the game, or to fill up space on the bench. So we are gonna lose both Blipbugs here, and this is not looking good. And this is the big problem with this as well, is that Blipbug, especially with a low 50 HP, 90 is quite a lot to just finish it off, and they can probably just find more water energies to refill this Radiant Greninja. And how are we gonna set this up now is the question, you know what I mean? So this is really bad. Got a double turbo energy. We got Relor. I could just set it up and maybe get an Orbeetle. So I'll energize that and get a Super Rod, because we don't have any more Blipbug in our deck. So let me go ahead and just get all 3 of those along with Doppler, because if we can't get a rare candy in whatever, we might need that. So I'm just gonna use Mesagoza. We got heads, very nice. And I'm going to actually get Blipbug, and I think this is gonna work out. This might actually work out. So what I'm gonna do is 40 HP or less, right? Alright, so what I'm gonna do is put Blipbug in play, put the Panic Mask, double turbo energy, and when we attack with Luxray, we're actually dealing 100 damage against their Radiant Greninja. So now it's below 40 HP, and with that Panic Mask, they cannot damage our Blipbug. That's crazy. So I'm gonna go for Raihan here and Energy Search just in case. If they don't knock out our Luxray, we can just freely retreat with it, get an energy with Energy Search, and then we can set up our other Pokemon on our bench. So that's gonna be our plan here. My opponent will retreat their Radiant Greninja. One bad thing about this is if they have a boss's orders and they just keep bossing our Blipbug and just basically gatekeep us in a way that they don't let us set up our Pokemon. And Relor Rubska line is actually our out to that type of problem. That's why I added 1 line of it. So if we have an Orbeetle in our discard pile, we can use Rabska to just basically get our discarded stage 2 Pokemon back into play. You can get any Pokemon from the discard pile onto your bench, but since we have stage 2s, you can actually set up your stage 2s back into your bench with Rabska. And there's the boss's orders, sure enough, but they're gonna go for a Rillor for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I guess they're stalling. They don't have any energies with just one card left on their hand. So they couldn't even attack. So we actually survived an attack. They're probably just trying to stall here. Come on, Mesagoza, get us a heads. We did not get it though. We still can't set up our Orbeetle. Come on! This is such a huge problem. So this is one of the risks that you will kind of encounter with this type of build. So I'm just gonna use Seeking Fang. We're dealing 50 damage to their Arceus V-Star. And I'm just going to get an Arven here and an Ultra Ball. So that will guarantee us our Orbeetle in our next turn. And yeah, regardless of what they do, if we can get a Rabsca and just discard an Orbeetle, we can still set one up, but we will be behind in a lot of prizes already. So they're gonna attack with Chien Pao EX, and they're just gonna attack. I think they have enough energy to knock out our Luxray. 180 damage, but they had to discard 3 water energies. That's gonna get them 1 more prize. So my opponent is down to their last 3 prizes. Now we can actually use our Raihan here, accelerate 1 extra energy, and we can also attach for turn because we have Energy Search. So we can actually set up as much as 4 stage 2s on our bench this turn. So I'll just use Raihan, accelerate the fire energy, get our Orbeetle. Let's see, let's get our best option here first. I could use Reversal Energy, but we don't really need that much. But I'll just leave it in my hand for now. Use Mesagoza, hopefully we'll get... Alright, we got heads. So we have our Orbeetle, we have Rare Candy in our hand, and we can fully set this up. I can even set up my Rabsca this turn. I wish I had a Scoop Up Net, man. Scoop Up Net would have been awesome in this deck, but it just rotated out. So let's go ahead and put our fire energy. So now we have 4 energies on our Orbeetle, and let's see what we can do here. We'll get a Rabsca, evolve this just in case, and then let's go ahead and use our Evomancy. Finally, after that Radiant Greninja mishap, we finally are able to set up our stage 2. So remove our weakness, multiply our fire energies with Charizard, and of course Skeledirge, which is with its high 340 HP, and with just a single energy we can start attacking, but we need to get that fire energy. Only basic energies count in this one, so we should have a few more in the deck. But for now, I can actually use our Machamp. We can retreat our Orbeetle, use Reversal Energy on Machamp, and we can deal 200 damage on this Chien Pao EX. And they're gonna need a lot of energy to knock out our Machamp. So we are behind on prices, so we are still gonna be okay. So that initial 50 damage from our Luxray will make a difference here, especially against their Chien Pao EX. But with so much energy on my opponent's discard pile already, how much do they have access to more energies is the question here. So they're gonna deal 120 damage, discarding 2 energies from their Chien Pao EX. So now, what we're gonna do here is probably put our Skeledirge in the active spot. And all we need is a fire energy here. You know what? I think Machamp is gonna be the best option, really, because we have no way of getting our fire energies We only have one energy search in this deck, so reversal energy will go to our Machamp, and then we're gonna attack. And let's go ahead and discard these two. I can recover them with Rabsca as well, and we're just gonna end our turn here by not using our Ultra Ball, and we're gonna use Strong Arm Lariat, and yes, we want extra damage, dealing 200 damage to their Chien Pao EX, knocking it out. And we got 2 prizes. Again, that initial damage from Luxray really made a difference, allowing us to get a knockout against that Chien Pao EX. So I think the combination of all the stage 2s in this deck is actually really good. One thing I would probably change is maybe Archeops. I actually don't use it as much as I was thinking I would be able to use it. But you can actually use it in clutch moments, especially when you want a double turbo energy, for example on Charizard, and then attach 1 fire energy. You can attack with it. You can get a luminous energy to attach to Florges or Orbeetle, and just attach 1 fire energy when Charizard is in play. They're gonna use Escape Rope though, so I might just have to sacrifice Rabsca here, because I need to multiply my energies. I need to remove my weakness, and of course you don't want any damage counters on Skeledirge because it will lower its attack damage output. So I think the best option really is to put Rabsca in the active spot, and my opponent's gonna get another prize for that. 70 HP is quite low, and it's easy for them to knock them out. And Radiant Greninja can deal double damage, I guess. But the only one that they can knock out is actually Rabsca. But 90 damage on Skeledirge can be really bad as well. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do here. They're gonna knock it out. If they have a boss, they can probably just boss one of our other Pokemon and win that way. They can target Charizard or Florges, which has lower HP than our other Pokemon. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're gonna do here. Okay, they're accelerating energies with Baxcalibur onto their Radiant Greninja. Okay, alright, so they're gonna take out our Rabsca and 90 damage on our Machamp. So 210 damage, I guess it's within our range, but that's still a lot of HP. So now it's our turn. We got a lot of fire energies in our hand finally, it's really great that we have this. Now we can attack with our Skeledirge EX. We also have Panic Mask, which will help us actually, but I'm just gonna put that on Machamp. We have access to our Cheryl, so I'm just gonna deal 50 damage, which is enough to knock out their Radiant Greninja, getting us 1 prize, and that also heals our Machamp by 30 HP. So it is beneficial. We got 1 knockout and also heal to our Machamp. But like I said, my opponent only has 1 prize card left. If they have a boss's orders and with enough energy, they can deal quite a lot of damage to knock out our Florges here. So they can use Arceus V-Star to attack. But the question is, do they have energies in their hand? They will need energies, so they're gonna get Super Rod, probably to recover some water energies. They're setting up another Baxcalibur, so 2 Baxcaliburs available to them. And I think they recovered water energies. Another Chien Pao EX. Alright. Yeah, Chien Pao EX is very powerful, but you need a lot of energies to pull it off. They take away our panic mask with the lost vacuum though, but that's all right. That should be okay. We are okay with that. Let's see what's in our prize, dude. Our Cheryl, we actually need that to heal, but as of right now, I think I'm just gonna attack. So Burning Voice, dealing 270 damage to their mana fee. We actually have no other choice here, but if my opponent has no access to water, we should still be okay. They have one card left in their hand, another one from what they drew. They need a lot of energies to knock out our Skeledirge EX. However, if they have a boss's orders, they might be able to knock out Florages. So I think boss's order is gonna be the deal breaker here. They only need one prize. They have a boss and if enough energy, all they need is 3 water energies to knock out our Florages. But no, they're just gonna attack our Skeledirge, but that's not enough energies to knock us out. So this is 180 damage is not gonna knock out our Skeledirge EX, guys. So we survive another turn, but our attack is lowered significantly. We're only dealing 90 damage because of that damage counter on Skeledirge EX. So I'll just attach another energy, and I'm thinking of just retreating, but I'll just attack for 50 damage. I'll heal 30 to our Skeledirge EX again with no water energies available to my opponent. Maybe we might be able to survive another attack here. They're gonna get another 2 energies with Shivery Chill. This could be it. Super Cold. So they're dealing 180 damage. 3 energies? Wait. I don't think... Dude. We survived by 10 HP. That's crazy. I'm just going to retreat here and put my Machamp in the active spot, and we're gonna finish this game with Strong Arm Lariat, dealing 200 damage. He survived an attack. That's insane. There you have it. That was a close game, man. Wow, good game. Good game. Alright, we win the coin flip. We are going first in this matchup. Take a mulligan. No, we're gonna start with Luxray in the active spot. So yeah, this Luxray is actually really great in this Orbeetle build. Again, it's basically a replacement to Chimecho. Go ahead and get a Blip Bug with this level ball. Make sure we have all the cards we need in the deck. We have 1 Cheryl, which is nice. Rare candies. 1 reversal energy. Well, we have 1 in our hand, so okay. So let's go ahead and set up our Blip Bug, and I'm just gonna put the reversal energy to Blip Bug and end our turn. So we can use Arven to get the energy search. We can use that on Luxray, attack, and get 2 trainer cards from the deck. And with an Ultra Ball available to us, we can even evolve into our Orbeetle. So we have a pretty good start here. Really good hand. Again, RNG plays a good part, a huge part in your setup with this Orbeetle, because you need to have the exact right hand or right cards to set up on your second or your third turn. And Arven is a huge part in being able to set up. While it only searches for an item card, it's enough, you know, to get us going, basically. Although Irida could be a good part, especially if you're using water type cards in your Orbeetle builds. So I think that would be a good option. Arven and maybe Irida, depending on the typing that you're using. So anyways, my opponent is starting with a Mew on their active. They have Ralts, Radiant Greninja, Zacian V. So this looks to be a Gardevoire EX deck. And I think we should be able to win this match. We could. But the first thing we gotta do is, of course, set up our Orbeetle. So they're gonna end their turn by using Zacian's ability, accelerating 1 Psychic Energy to their Mew to retreat. And we got another Ultra Ball. Alright, so we can actually evolve into our Orbeetle, but the I just get these two. The reversal energy is not gonna take effect. That's the only downside to it. So what I'm gonna do is actually just use Luxray and use Seeking Fang, dealing 50 damage to their Mew. So that will put a little bit of pressure to them, and I'll just get a rare candy. And sometimes I do this on purpose. You're probably wondering why I didn't just evolve into an Orbeetle, because it's actually more beneficial if they knock out our Luxray, if they're able to do that. So if they can evolve into a Gardevoire EX, accelerate energies to their Zacian V, knock out our Luxray, we can get an instant 3 energies on that reversal energy, which is gonna go a long way. And you can even use right hand and just set up a full bench of Pokemon stage 2s for a single turn. So if you manage to set that up where your opponent can knock out one of your Pokemon, and you have reversal energy available to you, and you can evolve into an Orbeetle, that quick setup is actually gonna go a long way. But one thing that sometimes happens is that if your opponent has access to boss's orders and they just keep bossing your Blipbug, then you basically can't set up anymore, and you're just gonna get behind on prizes and you're just gonna lose. But what I like about Skeledirge though is that it has such a high HP. Even if you can just set up Charizard and Skeledirge EX, you can still actually win a game, and that's what makes or breaks an Orbeetle build. Actually, is the combination of stage 2 Pokemon you have in your deck. So just keep that in mind. I think Orbeetle is just it's not as consistent as any other cards that is being used for competitiveness. But if you can get through the setup of Orbeetle, get those stage 2 outs, and again, depending on the combination of stage 2 Pokemon you have, you can actually make a really good combo and win a lot of games. So like the Skeledirge comboed with our Charizard is actually good. My opponent's not attacking. This is very curious. They're gonna lose Mew, but then we're gonna be ahead in prize, which is bad. But now our setup of Orbeetle is being pushed back, so I might just have to evolve and just try and set up. They have a lot of energies in the discard pile though, so they can just evolve into a Gardevoir EX at any given time, and they could just knock us out. So I'll just prevent them from discarding any other cards. That's why I bossed their Curlia, and I'll just discard these two, and I'll just get another Blipbug. So I'm just playing the waiting game here. I really want them to knock out either one of our Blipbug and maybe our Luxray. I'll just get Mesagoza. That way we can get our Orbeetle whenever we want, and I'll just get an Iono. Alright, so that's gonna end my turn. By putting Curlia in the active spot, there is a potential that I can knock it out with Luxray for another 50 damage. And that's also gonna push them to evolve it as well, so that they can survive an attack and hopefully when we lose a prize card, we can take advantage of the reversal energy. They have one Gardevoire with Shining Arcana. The question now is what they are going to do this turn. Collapse Stadium. Dude, that is actually really bad. Collapse Stadium. But like I said, if you have a good combination of stage 2s, you should be fine. So even if my opponent limits my bench to 4, I think as long as I have like 2 Charizard and 1 Skeledirge, or 2 Skeledirge, 2 Charizard, or maybe 1 Gallade, I think I should be okay. So there it is. Finally, my opponent evolves their Pokemon into Gardevoir EX. And even if they have a boss, they can only target one of our Pokemon here. And that's what's really nice about this matchup, is that they can't use the Radiant Greninja to deal multiple knockouts. So one objective my opponent can have is to boss one of our Blipbugs, probably the one with the energy on it, and prevent us from setting up. However, we have another Blipbug, so that becomes your strategy basically. Giving up a few prizes so that you can have a strong setup, and your opponent will not be able to retaliate any further. And you know what? I'm seeing something very interesting about this matchup. There's the boss's orders, and yeah, sure enough, they're gonna target the one with reversal energy. But we have a Raihan. That's one thing my opponent cannot see, is my Raihan. We have a potential to get our Orbeetle with Mesagoza, or even Ultra Ball. Accelerate 1 energy, get another reversal energy, which is available to us in our deck, and set up 4 stage 2 Pokemon on our bench. Let's see. No, we don't have energy in the discard pile though, so that's bad. Okay. All right. Regroup. Let's put Luxray in the active spot first. We can always just retreat. There's an energy. I can use Ultra Ball to actually discard that energy and use Raihan. Bro, that top deck, it actually saved our life. Let's go. All right, we got an Orbeetle thanks to our Ultra Ball. We can use Rare Candy and evolve. Use Raihan to accelerate an energy, and then get reversal energy. Just gotta slide through. There it is. Reversal energy. Bro, this is insane. Evolve our Orbeetle. And then we have free retreats with our Luxray. And then all we have to do is, yeah, attach this reversal energy. We're behind our prizes now, so we can, that takes effect. We have 4 energies in our hand, or on our Orbeetle. So we're gonna get our 2 Skeledirge in play for sure. And Gallade sounds good, but they could just target our Charizard. So I'm gonna play it safe, get 2 Charizards in play. We have an option to get any supporter card with our Gallade. And Skeledirge ultimate HP is actually gonna take us a long way here. And you know what, guys? The Panic Mask is gonna be very effective against this matchup. And I'll tell you why. Because each time they attach a Psychic Energy from their discard pile to their Pokemon, it actually puts damage counters on them. So there is really no way, I don't think there's any way that Zacian V can stack enough energy to deal enough damage to knock out our Skeledirge EX without having to get through the effect of Panic Mask. Unless they have a Lost Vacuum to remove it, right? I think Lost Vacuum is going to be a staple at some point on every deck, just to remove maybe a Panic Mask shenanigan. But as it is, there's really no way for them to one-hit knock out our Skeledirge EX, which is pretty insane. So we can heal at least twice in this build. I only have one Cheryl and one Palpad, so I can do that. But in the meantime, we can actually cause some big damage with this one. So I'll go with a Raihan here because we just lost a Pokemon, and we can accelerate this one energy, and that's all we need with the Raihan. And then what I'm gonna do is I could grab another energy, but I could also get Cheryl. So we have a few options here. I'm gonna go with the Palpad, and let's see, I can just knock out this Gardevoire. That's gonna get us one prize. All right, so we get one prize for that. Yeah, because if we use Vitality Song, it's still gonna leave 50 HP, so it can still attack our Skeledirge EX. So the best option was to really knock it out. And now, one way my opponent can damage my Skeledirge EX is with Gardevoire EX, because with just 3 energies, it's gonna leave behind a lot of HP on Gardevoire, and then it's gonna deal 190 damage to our Skeledirge EX. But thankfully we have Gallade. We can just get our Cheryl heal back up, and then reshuffle Cheryl with Palpad, and then we have Fire Energy in our hand to re-energize Skeledirge to attack. And with that amount of HP, we're dealing 270, 80, 90, 310. With 270 damage on Gardevoire EX, they're not going to be able to attack us, even with a full HP. But with 70 damage on it already, we can even just easily knock it out. So one other option they have is to try and attack for a one-hit knockout with Zacian V. But like I said, 220 HP might not be... So they need to leave it at 180, 180, 190. So they need to have 190 HP left on Zacian V, right? Wait, right? 20 to 20. Anyways, it needs to have at least 50 HP to damage our Skeledirge EX, right? To deal a lot of damage is basically what I'm saying. They can chip damage if they want. They can do that, but again, I have Cheryl. We just heal back up, knock out the Zacian V, and then we just put our Cheryl back to our deck with the Palpad. So let's see how much damage they're putting on Zacian V, and how much damage that will deal to our Skeledirge EX without it being negated with the Panic Mask. So they can only have, they have to have less than 180 damage to Zacian V. 170 damage is the maximum. So 6 energies on Zacian V. So they can still damage our Skeledirge EX. Let's see how much damage that's gonna deal. And yeah, Zacian V is a very, very dangerous Pokemon to have. I actually pulled this when I was when I bought the Pokemon Go set, and I was happy to actually pull 2, so I didn't have to buy it. So they're dealing 240 damage to our Skeledirge EX. I'm gonna go ahead and just set up the Rabscaline. Gonna use Buddy Catch to get our Cheryl. Fully heal, that will discard our energy on Skeledirge EX. But we have a replacement basic energy. Then we're gonna Palpad Cheryl back with Raihan. You know what? Boss's Order is actually a lot better. And what I'm gonna do is just use Burning Voice to knock out the Zacian V for another 2 prizes. So They might have been thinking that they were getting ahead in prizes early on in this matchup. But you know what? With the setup that we have, we're looking pretty strong. We're looking pretty strong. So like I said, I think the limitation to this build is that if you lose all healing, because like I said, I only have one copy of Cheryl. I'm actually thinking of getting two, but really the consistency becomes a lot worse. Because when you start with, of course, when you're starting your setup in the beginning of the game, if you're getting Cheryls that you don't really need, of course you want your Arvins, your Ionos, so that you can get the cards you need to fully set up for your Orbeetle. But if you're getting Cheryl and you're dead drawing, you're not going to be able to set up at all. That's why I lowered the count, and you just want to increase your probability of getting the necessary cards you need to set up. But Cheryl is very important too with the strategy. It's just, again, RNG plays a big part. If you can have 2 Cheryls, 2 boss in this build, it's a lot better. And then just use the Pal Pad and just continue to heal your Skeledirge EX. But as it is, we are a little bit limited in that way. And that is the downside to Skeledirge EX. If your opponent deals enough damage, the lower your attack will be. So they're setting up another Zacian V. I'm not sure if my opponent is... They're not gonna deal a lot of damage. They're not gonna one-hit knockout our Skeledirge EX, man. There's no way. There is no way that they can deal a one-hit knockout. So with 6 energies on Zacian V, that was 120. 240 damage, right? So they can attach up to 8 energies on Zacian V, actually. And 1 attachment, right? Am I right? 1 energy attachment. So probably 9 energies. 9 energies on Zacian V. And I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to knock out our Skeledirge EX. So let's see how much energies they can stack on Zacian V without it being negated by the Panic Mask. And can they get a one-hit knockout? Let's see. Actually get a calculator here. So if they have... what is the multiplier for Zacian V? Nine times 3, right? Plus 60 damage. It's only gonna give them 330 maximum damage. So even if they have 8, let's say, the maximum damage that they can put on Zacian V so that they can still hit, 270 with 7 energies, bro. They're not killing. They're not knocking out our Skeledirge, man. That's hilarious, man. There is no way. There is no way that they can knock out our Skeledirge EX. I'm gonna get Robska just in case they knock out our Skeledirge EX. We just bring it back to life with Robska. But for now, we have access to Cheryl and an energy in our hand. So we're just gonna fully heal our Skeledirge back up. Discard the energy, but we have another fire energy in our hand, and we're just gonna use Burning Voice to get another knockout against their Zacian V. There it is. 2 more prizes for us. Yeah, man. Even if they had 9 energies, the maximum damage they can deal without the mask, the panic mask taking into effect, they can only deal as much as 330 damage. Unless they have other attack modifiers, they can knock out our Skeledirge, but it's a long shot. They have 2 cards left in their deck, and they're just targeting our Charizard, but we have 2 of them in our bench. So yeah, I think we got this. They're leaving our Skeledirge EX with a full HP, and then we just knock out any one Pokemon that they present in their active spot. Most likely this Gardevoire, because they're setting it up to attack. And that's gonna be game. There you guys have it. Skeledirge EX is almost unbeatable. It has so much HP. 340 is a sweet spot from it being knocked out by a lot of Pokemon that can hit for a lot of damage. Even against this Zacian V, a one-hit knockout is impossible for it, you know what I mean? But there are other Pokemon that can one-hit knock out this Skeledirge EX, but at least for the ones that are really common in the format right now, Skeledirge EX is actually really good. So as long as you can set up your Orbeetle line, get your combo stage 2s in play, I think you'll be a-okay. So we're just gonna finish this up, dealing 270 damage with Burning Voice, winning us the game with Skeledirge EX. There you have it, guys, against a Gardevoire EX. No sweat, man. Alright, good game. Very good game. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.